So I'm going to show you how to tie this pattern. This is my big fish buzzer, and it took my best ever fish for an English reservoir a few years ago now, because they didn't seem to exist anymore. But I had an 8 pound 12 rainbow on this buzzer, fished very, very deep. I must have been 14, 15 foot deep, up in Savages. I've been catching some big perch, so I was obviously at the right depth, and all of a sudden this thing, literally like a salmon. By far the best looking rainbow I've caught, and one of the best looking rainbows I've ever seen for a reservoir. Pretty spectacular fish, to say the least. It's a little bit different. It's not like your normal buzzers, and this one was given to me by a guy called Russ. I forget Russ's second name. If I do remember it, I'll stick it up in the description. But yeah, Russ showed me this fly, and I've used it pretty much ever since. So let's go ahead and tie it. So the first thing we do is we start with a very, very big hook. That is a big hook. You see that there. That's a really big osprey grub hook. Size 8 that one is. Size 8. And the first thing I'm going to do, get him in the vise so he's sitting right. Okay. And I come in with UTC in red. I'm just winding down. And at this point I catch in this stuff as well. This is a uni thread, and this is uni camel. And I catch that in as well. I'm just going to wind down, put this out of the way. I'm just going to wind down untangle my threads. And I'm just going to wind down now, covering. I'll cover the whole hook shank shortly, but just now I'm just going to come down, and now I'll come up and try and make sure that I cover everything. Very hard to see actually. So this is my base layer of thread. I will cover all the hook. And this is what makes it for me. So this is the back of the fly. This is a really old bird. Look at the length of that. I mean, it's literally nearly 3 inches long. And I only want about 4 lengths of this stuff. Make sure there's no stray fibres that are going to snap. And then just catch it in. Winding down and making sure it's right on the back of the fly or the hook. So it's right on the back there, and then back up. Like I say, we'll cover everything with the thread. Now I think it's the segmentation of this that makes it so successful. It works probably, well, at depth anyway, better than any buzzer that I've got. I do like Curly's buzzer, but I think this one even outfishes that. So back up, and then just whip finish with your red thread. So now to the tricky part. With quite a tight thread, what we do is we bring the fibres over the back, and so that every 2 mil I come in and I lock it in place. 1, 2, 3, 4 wraps, move up 2 mil, catch it in again, 1, 2, 3, 4 wraps, and you just continue that pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, up the hook shank, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you take one turn in front of the pheasant tail and then lock them in 4 wraps. Probably one more here. 1, 2, 3, 4 wraps. You can now just take your thread all the way up with this stuff and then snip it there. Coming back down to where we finished off, get a little bit of tiny thread, and then I'm going to come in with this stuff, white antron, just a little bit. So I catch this in, I give myself a little bit of space to work with in front of the eye. So pinch and loop, got myself a little bit of space there, you see, in front of the eye. I'll tidy all this up. Come in at an angle, and then tidy up with thread wraps. You'll notice I've still got this bit to work with here. That's crucial. So just building up this thorax area. Nice big bulbous thorax. And then round about the middle, I get some Glow Bright number 5. And all I do is I double it up. Just doubled up. Catch it in on my thread wraps. And then just take everything down so that these, which are going to be your biots, are underneath the fly. Again, plenty of wraps, covering everything up, making sure that all that orange is covered up. Now nice and neat here. And then I stick a thread wrap in the front, just to lock everything in place. So I'm now going to tilt the body a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. And all I'm going to do is bring these up from below and catch it in at the tying point where we left off. This is the fiddly bit because you've got the antron there. But just come up. Make sure it's tight. And then the same on the other side. Bringing it up. Catch it in. Now what I'll do is I'll stick a little loop in there. Get the floss well out of the way. And then we trim everything back. So again, I'm going to just stick this in an angle. I see exactly what I'm doing. Get everything well out of the way. Careful of that antron. So I've got a little bit of floss there at the eye, but we can cover that up. You can see the segmented effect across the body there. And then just with thread wraps, tidy up the head. So that these stick out. There's a reason for it, I'll show you in a second. So pull all this back, finish the head off. And come in and snip that. Now, we bring all this forward and spray like so. If I turn this, you'll see how it's splayed. and there's a reason for that. So I'm going to come in now with some super glue. And just cover the fly. Make sure you're getting the bit just behind the eye. Tiny spot. There's a reason for the tiny spot there, because when we splay this out, I want a tiny bit to catch the glue, not too much, and I want that to catch the glue there. And all I'm going to do is come in at an angle, if I get my fingers out of the way, and just a little bit beyond the eye of the hook, snip it off. See that there? Snipped off. And then all we do, once that glue's dry, is I come in with a varnish. Clear varnish. And just, you can see the segmented effect. Even when you've got varnish on there, you've got the red interspersed with the segmentation of the pheasant tail. Like so. Let's tie that up one more time. But you can see why it's such a good fly. That segmentation really does make a big difference on it. A great fly, and like I say, one that consistently catches the biggest fish in the reservoir, as seen here. What a fish. I really hope you enjoyed that, folks. If you did, please be kind enough to subscribe to my channel. Take care, and bye-bye.